What's up, guys? We are back with a full slate of MLB action here on Monday, August 18th. We're going to give out plays on every MLB game on the slate. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock, my pick that regardless of price, I think has the highest chance of cashing. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally answer every comment every day. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and it pays to check back a couple of times per day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we didn't have the best day. It was a Sunday, and there was some wildness out there. We had the Brewers at minus 115 to continue their winning streak. They come up with a very tough 3-2 loss there in extra innings. Quintana was a monster over 6 1/3 innings, but Anderson was terrible coming out of the pen, walking 3 and giving up 3 hits. Abbott went out and had a monster start there for the Reds, and he was going up against a Brewers team that destroyed him earlier this season, so a tough loss there on Milwaukee. We had the Astros at minus 135, a 12-0 loss. The Astros, a bullpen start, thought it would be great. Well, it was an unmitigated disaster. So annoying to see a bullpen that's been so good this year get slaughtered by an Orioles offense that really hasn't been great this season, and also Kremer had an amazing start there for Baltimore, so annoying there as well. Now, we backed that up with a couple wins. We had the White Sox, Kansas City Royals under, a relatively comfortable cash on the 6-2 win there for the Royals. Their offense did try and pop off there at the end of the game and cost us the win, but they did, we find two bad offenses continuing to be pretty bad. So we do cash that one. We also cashed the Yankees at minus 140. That was an 8-4 win behind a weird start there from Warren, but the bullpen did some good things, and the offense did a great job of holding it down and shelling Michaelis in that Cardinals bullpen. So a win there on the Yankees. Unfortunately, our dog of the day, we ran it back there on the Tampa Bay Rays at plus 140. That did not come through. A gem of a start there from Logan Webb, who's been all over the place this season. He was great in this one. Pepia wasn't great. The bullpen was absolutely terrible there for Tampa Bay. So, a departure from the normal there, which I guess shouldn't be that shocking to us on a Sunday. Now, the most heartbreaking of all these games out there on Sunday was another loss on the lock of the day. It's officially cursed, guys. Crochet had a fantastic start, allowing only a single run over 7 innings, but the bullpen couldn't get anyone out in the 8th and 9th innings, and we see another late game loss on a very promising looking lock of the day. So maybe the lock of the day should be a first 5-inning play. I don't know, but right now it's been getting shelled. So anybody that's been fading that, congratulations to you. You've been making some money. So we're going to run it back today. We're going to get after it, see if we can find some value out there. I'll tell you what, the premium members found all the value yesterday, a 5-0 premium day, but we'll break that down. That makes it 10 straight correct MLB premium picks. I don't know how this dude's doing it. It's bonkers. But we're going to get into that here in a little bit. First up, we're going to go ahead and dive into this slate, and we've got the Milwaukee Brewers going on the road to take on the Chicago Cubs in game 1 of a doubleheader. The Brewers come into this game probably a little bit disappointed after having their lengthy winning streak snap there, but they won 2 out of 3 against the Reds. They've got an 8-game cushion there in the NL Central. I don't think they're going to be crying themselves to sleep. They'll hand the ball in this game to Freddie Peralta. He's 14-5 on the year, a 2.90 ERA. His last start, he was lights out against the Pirates. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed, struck out 7, and a 14-0 win. So very, very good stuff. I would say 3 out of his last 4 starts have been excellent, at least excellent, maybe dominant. And, going up against the Cubs here, well, that has to be a little bit concerning because the last time he faced Chicago back on July 30th, only, 3 starts ago, 4 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs allowed, and a 10-3 loss. So we are a little bit worried about the history that Peralta has against the Cubs right now. Now, the bullpen for Milwaukee, obviously that has not been a problem down the stretch, a 3.83 bullpen ERA. They've been holding it down out there in the pen. Still not one of the greatest bullpens in the majors, but good enough to get the job done. Yesterday, we did see the offense finally struggle. They had a really tough time against Abbott. Facing a lefty, that can be a little bit rough for them. They only came up with 2 runs in that game, but they've been hitting the cover off the ball for, it was a 13-game winning streak if I remember correctly. So, hitting the ball really well for quite a while. And, they're one of the best offenses in the majors at this point. They're first in runs scored, second in batting average, and second in on-base percentage. So, we'll see if they can keep that rolling here against the Cubs, who did win 2 out of 3 against the Pirates. They're 8 games back. Still got to make sure they maintain their spot there in the National League wildcard race. They'll hand the ball in this game to Cade Horton. Young 23-year-old Cade Horton is 7-3 on the year, a 3.07 ERA. He's fresh off a great start there against Toronto. 5 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run allowed. He struck out 8 and walked 2 in that outing. Very, very good stuff from Cade Horton, and he's been throwing the ball great over his last 5 at least starts. We love what we've seen from him. We'll see what he can do here against the Milwaukee Brewers. He hasn't faced them yet this year, but I'm expecting pretty good stuff from Cade Horton. The way he's been throwing the ball has been pretty nuts. The bullpen for Chicago has taken its lumps here recently up to a 3.81 bullpen ERA, but it's not a terrible group out there. The offense is what has really been the major problem for this team down the stretch. 4-3, 2-1, 4-1, and 2 over their last several games. They're just not hitting the ball like they were. They're 7th in the majors in runs scored, 10th in batting average, 10th in on-base percentage. Just doesn't feel like the Cubs are really locked in right now at the plate. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Looking at the numbers here, the Brewers are plus 105. The Cubs are minus 125. We've got a total of 8.5. And keep in mind, this is game 1 here of this doubleheader. The Brewers are 36-25 on the road. That's an MLB best road mark. 30, 29, and 2 to the over on the road. The Cubs are 38-21 at home, 28, 26, and 5 to the under at home. This is a very interesting spot here right off the bat. It's game 1 of a doubleheader on a Monday. I think we're going to see these guys be a little bit tired out there. I'm going to lean towards under 8.5. I think Horton will have a good outing. I think Peralta will have a little bit better time against the Cubs here, as they're not hitting the ball great. So I think under 8.5 is super live in this game. In terms of a side, I think minus 125 is a little bit rich for the Cubs, but I will take the Cubs here. They're a team that's more used to playing day games, so give me the Cubs here as a small lean, but I think the under is by far the better value. Next up, guys, we've got the Houston Astros headed to Detroit to take on the Tigers. Now, the Astros come into this game 69-55 on the year. Brutal stuff. They were terrible yesterday, getting shut out 12-0. They got shut out in 2 out of the 3 games in that series against the Orioles. So we'll see what they can do here, handing the ball to Spencer Arrighetti. He's 1-3 on the year, a 6.38 ERA, and Houston needs him to be good. They've got the Mariners hot on their tail out there in the AL West. Arrighetti, his last start looked like himself a little bit. 5 innings, 1 hit, 2 earned runs allowed. He did walk 5, but also struck out 3, and it was not his fault that the Astros lost that game 14-1. So we'll see what he can do here against the Tigers. I'm expecting something of a bounce back for him. The Astros bullpen getting shelled yesterday. That's not a great look. That was one of the biggest strengths of this team. And down the stretch, it's been a little bit questionable. The offense has been atrocious. 0-5-0, 4-1, and 7 over their last few games. This team is 19th in the majors in runs scored, falling down the rankings. They're still 3rd in batting average, 11th in on-base percentage, but certainly not getting the job done at the plate. Alvarez, starting that rehab assignment, that's a great sign, but they don't have him available for this game. So I'm worried about the Astros at the plate for sure as they take on the Tigers, who just won 3 out of 4 there at the Twins, so that's good work. They've got a 8.5 game lead in the AL Central. They'll hand the ball in this one to Jack Flaherty. He's 6-12 on the year, a 4.76 ERA. His last 2 starts have been atrocious, getting shelled by the White Sox and shelled by the Twins. A big fall off after a couple really nice back-to-back starts, doing well against the Phillies and the Toronto Blue Jays. So we'll see if he can bounce back. That's kind of been the whole theme of his entire season, it feels like, for Flaherty. He's just been, all over the place. You never know. This guy could go out and strike out 12 in this game and pitch a shutout. You just really never know what you're going to get from him. He hasn't been throwing the ball great. He doesn't have great history against the Astros, but it's some pretty ancient history. Now, the bullpen for Detroit looked great in the early goings, and it's rounding into form a little bit here, but still not amazing. I don't have a ton of trust in them. The offense, while they did get only held to 1 run there yesterday, 1-8, 7-4, 1-6, and 2. They are swinging the bats a little bit better. They're 8th in the majors in runs scored and 8th in slugging percentage, but 15th in batting average, and still not swinging the bats like they were earlier this year. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Astros are plus 120. The Tigers are minus 145, a total of 8.5. Houston's 31-28 on the road, a 500 over-under team on the road. Detroit's 39-24 at home, 30, 28, and 5 to the over at home. This is another kind of tricky spot here right off the bat, guys. I don't love Flaherty. He's been throwing the ball really poorly recently, so all that makes me want to lean towards the Astros, but they're coming off a terrible series against Baltimore. I think we're going to be on Houston just slightly at plus 120, but don't make me get involved with this game. In terms of the total, with how bad these two teams have been swinging the bats recently, I don't think under 8.5 is out of line, but neither one of these plays are showing much value at all for me. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description and go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily MLB, UFC, and NFL preseason picks, with NFL regular season and college football coming up before you know it. Major League Baseball has been our most profitable sport the last several years in a row and is having a great 2025 season here overall and lately. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the videos, as I am not the premium MLB handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. And guys, you can tell that I'm not because the dude over there is on absolute fire. He had a crazy July, some bumps in the road here in early August, not gonna lie, but the last 2 days, the 16th and the 17th, he is a combined 10-0 He hit all 5 of his plays there on Saturday, followed that up by hitting all 5 plays there on Sunday. He had the Dodgers as a 1-unit play, cashed that one. Yankees, a 2-unit play, a win there. The Royals as a 1-unit play, they come through. The Reds, I don't know how he saw the Reds in that one, but he cashed them a half-unit play on the Reds, and he had the Phillies as a 1-unit play to finish all off. A 5-0 premium day on MLB after a 5-0 premium day on MLB on Saturday as well. So crazy heater. Looks like he's about ready to go nuts here in the back end of August. So definitely get in the mix. Check out the premium packages over there at stumpthespread.com if you're interested. There's lots of different pricing options. Definitely check that out, because what he did in July, guys, the numbers are right here on the screen, was pretty nuts, and hopefully he can run it back here and do that in August. So we'll see if he can keep it rolling. Obviously, NFL and college football plays are coming up as well. There are actually already some week 1 regular season NFL plays in the premium section. So definitely check all that out. And you got to get over there, check out the free picks. Obviously, there are free picks that are only posted over there, like I was saying. And you got to get over to stumpthespread.com to get on that free email newsletter, guys. It's great information straight to your inbox every single day. Usually 1 or 2 free picks, at least 1, oftentimes 2. Usually an MLB, an NFL, or WNBA in there. Information on niche sports betting like golf, tennis, NASCAR, and WNBA, a sport that's probably going to be in the premium section come next WNBA season. So definitely, get in on the free stuff while you can. Get on that email newsletter. They only need your name and your email address to set up that free account. That is it. And you can get to that all by clicking the link down in the description. So check that out, guys. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, sign up for a YouTube channel membership by clicking that little join button right below the video. YouTube channel members are eligible for our members only giveaways. They also get their name up on screen in every video. They get early access to all of our videos, but those giveaways are really the main benefit that you get from being a YouTube channel member. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And speaking of that, guys, we are due for a giveaway. So we're going to be doing a giveaway right here, right now, today. As you can see, if you zoom in a little bit, every single channel member's name is on this wheel. We're about to click the button and spin, see who's going to win the Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their mailbox, guys. Love doing this every single week. Looks like this week's winner is going to be Eric Mann. Eric Mann, get down in the comments. Let me know that you see that you won the giveaway. We'll get into contact with you through the YouTube comments, and I'll let you know how to get your information over to me at Stump the Spread so we can get that hoodie out to you as soon as possible. It usually takes about a week if you reach out quickly, so let's see if we can make that happen. But guys, we've got a ton more games to get after. We got to dive back in. Next on the docket, we're looking at the St. Louis Cardinals heading to Miami to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals come into this game straight up not having a good time. They've lost their last 5 in a row, and they have fallen pretty much out of it there in any sort of playoff contention. They'll hand the ball in this one to Matthew Liberatore. After getting off to a good start to this season, this young 25-year-old lefty is 6-10 on the year, a 4.08 ERA. His last start was against the Rockies, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, and a 3-0 loss against the Rockies. A pretty tough look. He's had a decent season. He's had some decent starts mixed in there, but I'm not super high on Liberatore right now. The Cardinals bullpen has been getting shelled recently. Still good numbers over the course of the year, but not that hot lately. 3.64 bullpen ERA is a number that's on the way up. And the offense has fallen up significantly. I mean, 4, 8, 3, 5, and 0 over this losing streak is not ideal. It's not the end of the world, I guess, but for a team that looked like it was going to be a top 5 offense there in the early goings, probably through the first 80 or so games, that is not looking like the case anymore. So we'll see what they do here on the road against the Marlins, who at 59 and 65 also have not been having a great time. They did make that crazy comeback there against the Red Sox yesterday, so thanks a lot for that, Marlins, and thanks a lot for that, Red Sox. But they're going to hand the ball in this one to Yuri Perez. He's 5-3 on the season, a 3.58 ERA. This young 22-year-old phenom has had a mixed bag recently. He was looking unhittable there for a bit. Several starts in a row just looked crazy good, but his last 2 getting shelled there by Atlanta and then knocked around pretty aggressively there by Cleveland. The offense did save him, though. They put up 13 runs, so that was a 13-4 win. But Yuri Perez has not looked lights out in his last couple of starts. The Marlins bullpen has not been great this season in general, so that's been a problem. An ERA over 4 basically the entire year. And the offense, 5, 1, 4, 13, 3, and 1 over their last few is not terrible. And this isn't a terrible offense. They're 17th in runs scored. They're 8th in batting average, though, and 17th in slugging percentage. So I'm expecting them to put up some runs on a daily basis. That seems like usually a very safe bet. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Cardinals are plus 115. The Marlins are minus 135. A total of 8 in this one. St. Louis, not a very good road team. 26 and 34 on the road, 29, 28, and 3 to the over on the road. Miami's 28 and 31 at home, 33 and 26 to the under at home. I actually think under is more live than over in this game, but it's not a spot where I like the total too much. I do like the Marlins at minus 135 a decent amount. I think Yuri Perez will probably bounce back in this game. Now, are we having a great time trying to pick when these pitchers are going to bounce back? Well, if you remember, Valdez really let us down the other day, but I do think this is a good spot. The Marlins at minus 135 on a slightly shorter slate might have a chance to make the pin comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the Toronto Blue Jays headed to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. The Blue Jays just won 2 out of 3 there against the Rangers. They're having a great time, 5 games up in the AL East. They'll hand the ball in this one to Kevin Gausman. He's 8-9 on the year, a 3.79 ERA. His last start, not too shabby there against the Cubs. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs allowed. They were both solo home runs, so that's not great. And it was in a 4-1 loss, but he's been throwing the ball really well over his last 5 starts. Did have that weird bad start against the Royals, but we've liked what we've seen from him in general this season. He hasn't faced the Pirates, no major shock there, but I like what he's doing. The Toronto bullpen's getting a little bit better, although it's still got to be a big concern for them as the playoffs approach. The offense, though, is nuts. 4, 14, 6, 2, 1, 5, and 5 over their last few games. They're still first in the majors in batting average, first in the majors in on-base percentage, 6th in both runs scored and slugging percentage. This is a dangerous, dangerous offense. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up to batting 300, over 20 home runs on the year. They are not slowing down anytime soon. So we'll see what they do here against the Pirates, who, at 52 and 73 on the year aren't headed to the playoffs. They'll hand the ball to Paul Skeens in this game. They just lost 2 out of 3 against the Cubs. Skeens, though, has kind of been their savior, although he's 7-9 on the year, a 2.13 ERA, and his last time on the mound did not go so well. 4 innings, 6 hits, 4 earned runs allowed there in a 14-0 loss at the Milwaukee Brewers. I mean, his start before that, he was very good against the Reds, although he did give up 7 hits. That was in a 7-0 win, but he also had a terrible start against the Rockies. Skeens just has not been as dominant recently as he's been over the course of the year, and even if he does have a good start, he's going to come out of the game at some point. They're not looking to have him pitch complete games here in the heat of August when there's nothing for this team to play for. The bullpen is terrible for the Pirates, and the offense remains one of the worst in the majors. They are last in runs scored. They are 30th also in slugging percentage, so last in runs and slugging. They're 28th in batting average. Not a lot of scary hitters there for the Pirates, so we'll see what happens in this game, guys. The Blue Jays are plus 100. The Pirates are minus 120. A total of 7 in this game. Toronto's a 500 road team. They're 32, 27, and 3 to the over on the road. The Pirates 34 and 29 at home. 33, 29, and 1 to the under at home. I'm not falling for this one, guys. I'll definitely take the Toronto Blue Jays at plus 100. I'm not backing Skeens in this spot. He hasn't been looking as sharp recently. I know the kid's a monster. More power to him. I hope he can either get a decent team around him or get out of Pittsburgh, because I don't think he's going to have a great time in this one going up against the Blue Jays. And even if he does, the bullpen will let them down. Next up, we're looking at the Seattle Mariners headed to Philadelphia to take on the Phillies. Now, the Mariners have lost 4 out of their last 5. That's not a great look. They're still only a game and a half back of the struggling Astros, so we'll see if they can make that happen. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Logan Gilbert. He comes in this game 3-4 on the season, a 3.31 ERA. His last start, he was excellent against Baltimore, 6 in a third innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs allowed, struck out 6 and walked 2, and he's been looking stronger and stronger as his season has progressed. So we'll see what he can do here against the Phillies. I'm expecting him to have a very good time against Philadelphia. This dude is legit, and obviously coming off of injury back here this season, he's gotten better and better as the season's gone on. So I'm expecting good stuff from him. I'm expecting decent stuff from that Mariners bullpen, a 3.66 bullpen ERA. Not too worried about that. The offense, it's been sputtering a little bit. I mean, 3-1, 11, 3, 3, and 1 over their last few games. Cal Raleigh doing his thing. He's up to 47 home runs, nearing the catcher record for home runs. Crazy what he's done this year. And the Mariners, I mean, the offense is so much better this year than it was last year. This is probably a top 10 offense in terms of runs scored this season. That is nuts, given what they did a year ago. They're taking on the Phillies in this game, guys. We are going to the IL with a blood clot. That's not great for this team. They lost 2 out of 4 there against the Nationals. That's kind of embarrassing, but the Mets suck so bad right now. They've still got a 5-game lead there in the NL East. So we'll see what they can do in this one, handing the ball to Ranger Suarez, who's 8-6 this season, a 3.28 ERA. His last start, 5 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 6 earned runs allowed there at Cincinnati. Not a great look. Start for that, he got pretty much shelled there by Baltimore, and that was a home start. He had a decent start against Detroit before that, but not somebody that's throwing the ball great here down the stretch. We'll see what he does against the Mariners. He hasn't faced them this year, but we'll see. Ranger Suarez, not my favorite starter right now. The Phillies bullpen, one of my least favorite bullpens, a 4.21 bullpen ERA. That's pretty much who they are. They're a bad bullpen team. The offense has also been very unpredictable and oftentimes bad. 11-0, 6-2, 0-1, and 4 over their last few games. This is supposed to be one of the most dominant offenses out there coming into the season. They're sixth in batting average, but they're 11th in runs scored. They're 10th in slugging percentage, and they are one of the most likely teams on a nightly basis just not show up at the plate. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Mariners are -110, the Phillies are -110, a total of 8 out there. The Mariners are a 500 road team. They're 33, 28, and 1 to the over on the road. The Phillies, 37 and 21 at home, 29, 26, and 3 to the over at home. I actually don't think over 8 is that unreasonable in this game, but much, much better than that, guys. I'll just take the Mariners at -110. Logan Gilbert is a way better starter than Ranger Suarez. The Mariners bullpen is light years better than the Phillies, and I honestly think the Mariners offense might be more reliable, if not just straight up better. So definitely give me the Mariners here on the road to get the win. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Baltimore Orioles headed to Boston to take on the Red Sox. The Orioles coming off that 12-0 win there yesterday. They're only 10 games below 500, which is better than they've been at most points this season. They'll hand the ball to Trevor Rogers, who's been a big part of why they've looked better. This 27-year-old's 5-2, a 1.43 ERA. His last 4 starts, he's given up a total of 3 earned runs. Over his last 5 starts, he's given up a total of 5 earned runs. It's been bonkers what this guy's been doing. I don't know if he's got any history against the Red. No, he has. Oh, yeah, he faced Boston to start his season and was lights out over 6 1/3. So I'm expecting great stuff from Trevor Rogers in this one. This lefty has been absolutely dealing since coming up to the big leagues. Now, the Orioles bullpen, terrible. The Orioles offense, also usually terrible, although recently it's been getting much better. 12, 4, 7, 5, 4, 0, 2, and 3 over their last few. So, yeah, it hasn't been a long streak of them hitting the ball well, but they are hitting the ball well. They're 20th in the majors in runs scored, 22nd in batting average, but 14th in slugging percentage. So we'll see what they can get up to here against the Red Sox, who are really on our shit list after what they did yesterday. They are 68 and 57 on the year, handing the ball to Dustin May. Now, they're 5 games back in the AL East, so I'm not holding my breath for them to overtake Toronto. Dustin May is 7 and 8 on the year, a 4.67 ERA in his 2 starts since coming over there from the Dodgers. A pretty bad start against the Royals and then an excellent start there against the Houston Astros. Now, we'll see what he can do against Toronto. I'm not exactly holding my breath for miracles from Dustin May. He's been okay this year, but definitely not great. The Boston bullpen, normally good. Yesterday, terrible. So that was a big kick in the teeth. We'll see if they can bounce back in this one. The offense, they're not swinging the hottest bats or the coldest. I mean, 3, 7, 2, 1, 14, 6, and 2 over their last several games is not a disaster. They're currently sitting at what? Very good over the course of the season. 4th in runs scored, 7th in batting average. So we'll see what they can get up to here. But going up against Trevor Rogers, that seems a bit sketch. So looking at the numbers for this game, the Orioles are +100. The Red Sox are -120, a total of 8.5. Baltimore, 27 and 37 on the road, 40, 22, and 2 to the under on the road. That's actually an MLB best to the under. The Red Sox, 41 and 23 at home, 34, 28, and 2 to the under at home. So I think we have to very reasonably consider under 8.5 in this game. I doubt it goes into the pin comment. I am a little bit scared of all these under plays here in the heat of the summer, but I don't think it's crazy. We would be needing a good day there from Dustin May, and we would be needing a good day there from the Baltimore bullpen. Those feel like big asks. In terms of the side, I'm fading the Red Sox today. Give me Trevor Rogers on the mound in the Baltimore Orioles. They're playing some of their best ball of the year. I think they probably figure out how to get a win in this one, and the odds are pretty nice. Next on the docket, we've got the Chicago White Sox headed to Atlanta to take on the Braves. The White Sox come to this game 44 and 80 on the season. They just got swept by the Royals, so not having a great time. They're hitting the ball in this one to Yoendrys Gomez. He comes into this game 5.56 ERA. Normally a bullpen guy, came over from the Dodgers, and he's had mixed results so far for the White Sox, but the last time they put him on the mound as a starter, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run allowed there, struck out 7 and walked 1 in a 9-6 win against Detroit. So very good stuff. We'll see if he can back it up in this one. I'm not going to hold my breath though. The White Sox bullpen's been better than expected this year, a 3.85 bullpen ERA. The offense though has been atrocious as expected, guys. They're 27th in runs scored, 29th in batting average, also 29th in slugging percentage. So a pretty weak team that played. They scored 2, 2, and 1 runs in that 3-game series there against the Royals. So we'll see what they can do here against the Atlanta Braves, who are 56 and 68 on the year, but they've won their last 5 in a row. They just swept the Guardians. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Spencer Strider, who's 5 and 10 on the season, a 4.69 ERA. His last couple of starts, though, have been atrocious. Really struggling against Milwaukee and then really struggling against the Mets. So he needs a big bounce back. Could he get that here against the light-hitting White Sox? It's definitely possible. He has not faced them this season, though. The Atlanta bullpen, not a disaster, but not great. A 3.89 bullpen ERA is decent. The offense coming up with some very clutch hitting here recently. 5-10, 2-4, and 11 over this winning streak. Pretty hot hitting for a team that's 17th in runs scored and 21st in batting average. But we'll see what they can do here at home. Now looking at the numbers, the White Sox are plus 170. The Braves are minus 210. We got a total of 8.5 out there. The White Sox are 18-44 on the road. 37, 22, and 3 to the under on the road. Atlanta's a 500 home team, 33, 23, and 4 to the under at home. This is a rough spot. Gomez was so good his last time on the mound. Maybe they make this a real game. I'm going to lean a little bit towards the under, but I don't really love that here necessarily. Strider's been so bad recently, I can't justify backing the Braves at minus 210. So I guess I'm on the White Sox here, but this is a stay away spot for sure. Next on the docket, we've got the Texas Rangers headed to Kansas City to take on the Royals. The Rangers come into this game fresh off a desperately needed win there against Toronto. Yeah, Berger going to have some tests done on that sore wrist. That's a big concern. They're 62-63 on the year. They've got a lot of work to do down the stretch. They'll hand the ball in this one to young Jack Leiter, who's 7-6 on the year, a 3.94 ERA. His last 5 starts, though, the kid has been dealing. Very good stuff. Now, the Rangers are only 2-3 over that span, but it has not been his fault. Very good starts against Arizona, the Yankees, the Mariners, the Braves, and the Sacramento Athletics. So we'll see what he can do here going up against the Royals. He faced them back in mid-June and was pretty terrible. Got lit up in that start, and it was a 6-1 loss. So we'll see what he can do here against Kansas City. Obviously, the Rangers' bullpen's been excellent this year, although maybe some bumps in the road recently. The offense hasn't been showing up massively, I guess. I mean, 10, 2, 5, 4, 2, 7, and 2. It's been a bit brutal for this team at the plate this season. They're 27th in batting average, 24th in runs scored, and I don't really see anything changing in a major way immediately. So we'll see what they do against the Royals. They come into this one playing well. They've won 5 of their last 6. They're 63-61 on the year. Definitely still with their eyes on the prize of making the wild card. They'll hand the ball in this one to Michael Wacha. He's 7-9 on the year, a 3.35 ERA. His last start, very good, and all 5 of his last 5 starts have been very solid. Hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs in any of them. Just very, very good stuff. The Royals are 4-1 over his last 5 starts. You can't ask for much more. We'll see what he can do here against the Rangers, a team that he faced back in mid-June and was excellent in that outing. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed. So definitely like this spot for Michael Wacha. Definitely like this spot for the Royals bullpen. That's been excellent this year. The offense, not so incredible, but 6-3, 7-8, and 7 over their last few games is monster run production for this team that's been really mediocre at the plate this season. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Rangers are plus 110, the Royals are minus 130, a total of 9 in this game. The Rangers are 25-37 on the road, 32, 29, and 1 to the over on the road, which is crazy because they're a massive under team at home. The Royals are 33-29 at home, 37, 24, and 1 to the under at home. With a total of 9 in this game, I think under 9 is an excellent play, especially on a Monday. These teams are going to be a little bit tired. I think we'll see offense be at a premium in this game. I also like the Royals to keep on rolling here and get the win at home at minus 130. Walker's got great history here against the Rangers, so that helps as well. So honestly, both of those plays have a chance to make the pinned comment. Next up, guys, we're going to take a quick glance at Game 2 there between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Chicago Cubs. We don't have confirmed starters for this game. Only one book had released numbers for this for Game 2 here at time of recording, and it's got the Brewers at plus 102, the Cubs at minus 120, and a total of 9. With no confirmed starters for this game, there's really not much we can discuss here. I do think that, whatever happens in Game 1 will probably have some bearing here on what happens in Game 2. So this is going to be a wait-and-see spot. Check back on that pinned comment just in case something weird happens and we end up putting Game 2 in there later in the day. But really, guys, we got to wait and see. We've got to know who's starting the game to make much of a pick. Cruising along here, we're looking at the LA Dodgers going on the road to take on the Colorado Rockies. The Dodgers come into this game on a 3-game winning streak. They just swept the Padres. They're now 2 games up on San Diego. They're in the pretty contentious NL West. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who's 10-8 on the year, a 2.84 ERA. His last time on the mound was not great. At the Angels, he struggled aggressively in a game we saw the Dodgers lose 7-4, but overall this season he's been very good. We'll see what he can do against the Rockies, a team he dominated back in late June, and I'm kind of expecting him to run it back and dominate them once again. Obviously, the Dodgers bullpen is a problem. A 4.19 bullpen ERA is not great, definitely in the bottom half of the majors, and something they're going to have to address in the playoffs at some point. The offense, though, 5-6-3, 5-6-4 over their last few games. Not hitting the cover off the ball, I'll be honest. They are second in the majors in runs scored. They're 5th in batting average. Mookie Betts hitting a nice home run there. Things are trending in the right direction for the Dodgers. Now, as far as the Rockies go, they did just win 3 out of 4 against the Diamondbacks, so that's nice. But at 35 and 89 in the year, they're one of the worst teams in the majors. And most of those games they won against the Diamondbacks were really, really crazy ones that any normal team would have won. Now, the Rockies will hand the ball in this one to Kyle Freeland. He's 3-12 on the season, a 5.18 ERA. He did just go out and have the start of maybe his life, but definitely the start of his season against the Cardinals. 7 1/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs allowed, and a 3-0 win. The time that he was on the mound before that, he got obliterated by the Toronto Blue Jays. Now he's got to go up against the Dodgers. I have a hard time envisioning a great start for him here against the Dodgers. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, the Rockies bullpen, one of the worst in the majors, way worse even than the Dodgers. And their offense, they've been hitting the cover off the ball recently, but hitting the cover off the ball against the Diamondbacks is a lot different than hitting the cover off the ball against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So, looking at the numbers for this game, the Dodgers are big favorites at -275. The Rockies are +220. We've got a total of 11 in this game. The Dodgers are 28-29 on the road, 32-24-1 to the under on the road. The Rockies are 19-43 at home, 31-29-2 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, but I will definitely take the Dodgers here. They need these wins. I'm a little bit worried about a letdown after the Padres game, or the Padres series, but I think Yamamoto is going to go out there and dominate, and I think if they score 4 or 5 runs, they should be in business. So definitely give me the Dodgers here at -275 as a potential lock of the day. That being said, the lock of the day has been cursed recently. So if you want to fade it, I don't blame you too much, but I do think the Dodgers are the team the most likely to win their game today, regardless of price. Rolling through these games, we've got the Cincinnati Reds headed to LA to take on the Angels. The Reds just won 1 out of 3 there against the Brewers. They're still in that wild card mix out there in the National League, so they need these wins. They're going to hand the ball here to Brady Singer, who's 10-9 on the year, a 4.31 ERA. His last start was great there against the Phillies. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed. Start for that, he struggled against the Pirates, but start for that, he dominated the Atlanta Braves. So he's been a little bit all over the place. We'll see what he can do against the Angels, not a team he's faced this season, but I'm expecting Brady Singer to go out there and be at least serviceable. The bullpen for the Reds is rounding back into form, a 3.96 bullpen ERA. Definitely solid stuff there. The offense, 3-5-8, 8-6-1 over their last few. They're hitting the ball pretty well. I got to give them credit here. Now, they're not the most reliable offense, but they're 9th in runs scored, 16th in batting average, 21st in slugging percentage. So we'll see which version we get here of the Reds at the plate. They're going to be taking on an Angels team that just won 1 out of 3 against the Athletics. They'll hand the ball in this one to Victor Medeiros. He comes into this game a 5.63 ERA. He's been, not up with the big league team for too long. This young 24-year-old trying to make a name for himself. He got knocked around a bit by the Dodgers his last time out. That was a start. 4 innings, 3 hits, 3 earned runs allowed, and walked 3 in that game. But the Angels eventually won 7-6. We'll see what he can do here against the Reds. Now, the bullpen situation for the Angels is not great. A 4.84 bullpen ERA has been a problem all year long, and the offense, well, they have their big nights like putting up 11 in Game 3. They also have their bad nights, guys. 2, 3, 6, 7, 7, and 5 before that. So, not a walkover team at the plate by any stretch. They are 15th in runs scored this year, but 26th in batting average and 23rd in on-base percentage. So we'll see what they do here. Looking at the numbers, the odds makers have this listed as a coin flip. The Reds are -110, the Angels are -110, a total of 9. The Reds are 29-31 and 29-31 on the road, 33-26-1 to the under on the road. The Angels are 33-30 at home, 35-24-4 to the over at home. I'm going to lean just a little bit towards the Reds on the road in this one. I don't love this spot for Singer necessarily, but I think this is a pretty mediocre pitching situation for the Angels in this game, so the Reds probably figure out how to get the win. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Cleveland Guardians headed to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. The Guardians just got swept in a 3-game series there against the Braves. That's a tough look for a team that was still is very live in the wild card hunt out there in the American League. They're going to hand the ball in this game to Gavin Williams. He's 7-4 on the year, a 3.38 ERA. His last start, though, not good. Got shelled there by the Marlins. He'd been throwing the ball great coming into that one. So we'll see if he can bounce back here a little bit against a Diamondbacks team that's not quite as scary at the plate as they used to be. Obviously, the Cleveland bullpen has had a few mistakes here recently, but a 3.58 bullpen ERA over the course of the season is still 4th best in the majors. The offense, 4-1-0 runs there against the Atlanta Braves. Not great. They are 26th in the majors in runs scored, last in batting average, 28th in on-base percentage. Not a team you can really pencil in to score a lot of runs. So they might have some trouble here against the Diamondbacks, who, despite losing 3 out of 4 against the Rockies, are always scoring some runs. They'll hand the ball in this one to Zach Gallen, who's 9-12 this year, a 5.31 ERA. His last start, he was decent against the Rangers, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and wouldn't you know, he gets a bunch of runs for it and they win that game 6-4. So we'll see if he can keep throwing the ball well. He's been pretty predictably, good throwing the ball this season. We'll see what goes on. He hasn't any history this year against the Guardians. Now the Arizona bullpen, on the other hand, terrible. Great track record of being terrible. A 4.90 bullpen ERA. The offense, despite changing a lot, still puts up some runs. They're still hanging on 5th in the majors in runs scored, 11th in batting average. So they've got some dangerous bats out there. We'll see if those bats show up in this one. The Guardians are -102. The Diamondbacks are -116. A total of 9 in this game. Cleveland's 32-29 on the road, 31-25-5 to the under on the road. The Diamondbacks are a 500 team at home, 29-27-4 to the over at home. No major lean on the total in this one, guys, but I do kind of like the Diamondbacks to keep things rolling. Zach Gallen on the mound definitely, feels like their best starter at this point. So, yeah, give me the Diamondbacks here at -116 as a small lean. Last but not least, we're looking at the San Francisco Giants headed to San Diego to take on the Padres. Now, the Giants come into this game 60-64 on the year. They did win their last one there against the Rays, so I guess they'll take that. They're going to hand the ball in this one to Robbie Ray. He's 9-6 on the year, a 2.98 ERA. He got knocked around aggressively by the Padres his last time out. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs allowed against the light-hitting Padres, and now he's got to run it back against San Diego. So we'll see if that goes a little bit better for him. Obviously, the Giants' bullpen's been one of the best bullpens in the majors this year, so that's been a big help, but the problem has been their lack of offense. They came with 7 in their last game, so that's great, but 25th in runs scored, 25th in batting average, and 28th in slugging percentage do not paint a picture of a team that's capable at the plate. So we'll see what they can do here against the Padres, who come into this game just getting swept by the Dodgers. That's a huge blow to their chances there in the NL West, but they're only 2 games back, so they're still alive. They'll hand the ball in this one to Nestor Cortez, who's 1-1 on the year, a 5.71 ERA. His a couple starts there for his new team, the Padres, coming over there from Milwaukee. 4 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, in a 3-2 win against the Diamondbacks. And then he has already faced the Giants. 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, only 1 earned run allowed. He did strike out 6 in that game, and that was a 5-1 win. So we'll see what he does here running it back against this, pretty mediocre at the plate Giants team. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, the bullpen this season for the Padres has been tops in the majors, a 2.97 bullpen ERA. Nobody's about to complain about that. In the offense, well, they didn't really show up there against the Dodgers. They were swinging the bats well coming into that series, so maybe they can bounce back. But 9th in batting average, 8th in on-base percentage, but 22nd in runs scored. There's going to be some progression back towards the mean here. So we'll see what happens in this game. The Giants are +120. The Padres are -140. Totals out there of 7.5 or 8. The Giants are 30-31 on the road, 32-25-4 to the over on the road. The Padres are 38-20 at home, 31-25-2 to the under at home. I actually think the Giants are live at +120 in this game with Robbie Ray on the mound. I know he wasn't great against the Padres his last time out there, but I do think he can look quite a bit better. He faced the Padres, earlier in the season, back in early June, and was excellent in that outing. So give me the Giants and Robbie Ray here at +120 as a potential dog of the day. Guys, that's all the games we have here today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate, or more importantly, bud, if you were the winner of the giveaway, let me know that you won the giveaway down there in the comments so we can get that hoodie out to you as soon as possible. I appreciate everyone watching. Click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com. Check out those insanely hot premium MLB picks, guys. Nuts. The dude's 10-0 over the last 2 days. He is seeing the Matrix right now. It's crazy, crazy work. Also, check out all the good free stuff. Get on that free email newsletter. And guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.